All right, I think we're live. So this wasn't a planned out live broadcast. I just wasn't able to get a video done for you guys this weekend. I usually do my videos on the weekend and post them on Monday and Tuesday. This weekend I just wasn't. I'll get to that here in just a second, but I wanted to give you guys an update. I've had a couple of questions come in recently about, when to move your quail out of the brooder box and when can you combine them in with some older quail and some of those kinds of things. And I've talked about it on video before, but I figured it'd be a good opportunity to go ahead and address it again. I had a recent one come through about button quail. Button quail, I'm not raising button quail, but they're pretty much the same as Coturnix quail, so this will apply to Coturnix quail as well. My dog's barking at something. Hang on, let me adjust this camera just a little bit. See if I can. Sorry. Wasn't quite ready for this. Hey there, Steve. It's gonna be hard for me to see comments as they're coming in, so if I'm not responding to them, I apologize. They only stay on the screen for a second. Hello, only one, good to see you. All right, so when it comes to combining your younger quail with your older quail, as soon as they're weaned off the heat lamps, you can throw them in with the older quail. Who's that? Paula, good to see you. Oh, well, I see good timing on this video then, huh? So as soon as they're weaned off, in fact, I've had really good luck with moving my birds out to my older hutches when they're about 2.5, 3 weeks old, somewhere right around in there. As soon as I can get them weaned off the heat lamp, they're all feathered out, move them out in. Now you want to do it before they reach about 6 to 8 weeks old. Hey, Steve, and who has Christina from Nicaragua, good to see you. You want to move them out before they're like 6 weeks old, before they hit sexual maturity, because once they do that, then they're seen as a threat, and you're going to get fighting, you're going to get the birds picking on each other and those kinds of things. But these guys here, I'll open up the hutch, and you can see I haven't had any problems whatsoever. You might be able to see, I don't know if you can see from back there. Here, let's bring the camera a little closer. Take a look inside the hutch here, and you can see I've got baby quail in there. They're about 4 weeks old now, maybe a little over, but they've been in here almost 2 weeks now. There's one back there, there's one right there, you can see. And they're in here with the older birds. No problems whatsoever, haven't had any fighting, none of the birds picking on each other, none of those kinds of issues going on. So, let me get this closed back up and move this camera back. Sorry, it's gonna be a little shaky. I don't usually do these things live. I'm usually doing it pre-recorded and then editing out all the shaky stuff, but you guys get it. Close that hutch. So anyway, excuse me. So anyway, get them weaned off the heat lamps. Once they're fully feathered out, you should be able to, and that's about 2 weeks old usually. They'll be fully feathered out 2 to 2.5 weeks old, something like that. Yeah, don't worry about it, I'm live. Well, thank you, Paul, I appreciate that. 2.5 weeks old, somewhere right around in there. They'll be fully feathered out. You should be able to start weaning them off the heat lamp, depending on what your weather is outside. That may not take but just a couple of days. It may take another week. If it's really cold outside, hello from UK, Erica, good to see you. If it's really cold outside, then it's going to take a little bit longer to get them acclimated to that colder temperature. But if it's summertime like it is here, where the nights aren't getting below about 70, 75, the days are getting up in the 90s, it only takes a couple of days to really wean them off that. I start reducing the temperature a little bit, about 5 degrees every 2 days or so when they're about a week and a half old, somewhere right around in there. And just watch your birds. If they're all huddling together under the heat lamp, it's a little too chilly. Need to warm it up a little bit, move it closer to them. Whoever asked about the button quail earlier, I didn't get in and respond to the comment, but they asked about using one of those heat plates. And yeah, you could use a heat plate, one of those that rises and lowers and provides a heat instead of a heat lamp. That's fine, you can do that as well. Nothing wrong with that, just it's not really that complicated. What are you saying, Paula? So Kyle could have them out in the hutch with the heater or the brooder, is that right? Yeah, as soon as they're ready to, I never put the heat lamp out here in the hutch, but yeah, I guess you could. I don't see any reason why not. But like I said, once they're ready to move out of the brooder box, once they're completely feathered out and weaned off the heat lamp, I don't know that I'd put them on wire before they're about 2 weeks old. They're a little small at that point, and you're gonna look, you might be running into some issues with like them getting their feet caught in the wire or something like that and having some issues. But other than that, they're fine. You can move them in with the older birds. The older birds don't see them as a threat, and the older birds, I've never had an older bird beat up a baby bird and kill them. And they tend to grow up just fine and not have any problems whatsoever. My dog is all excited and he's running around like crazy, distracting me. Robert says, if I'm having 90-degree days, do I need a heat lamp? Well, it depends on what your nighttime temperatures are getting down to. If they're getting down below I'd say, you know, yeah, you probably need a heat lamp at least for the first week. Because they need to be up closer to about 95 to 98 degrees. I try to go for close to 100 for the first week. Give them a chance to start growing some feathers out and things like that. And then after that, you can start reducing it a little bit. What I do is I kick it down to what the, you know, I get it down to where once I get it, yeah, they should be fine. Yeah, Paulo, they should be fine with the older birds. You know, just throw them in there. But again, as long as you do that, do it before they hit sexual maturity. So before they're like 5-6 weeks old, even though they're not completely sexually mature at that point, 5 to 6 weeks old is kind of close, and they could be seen as a threat and could be a little bit beat up. Robert says 70 at night. Yeah, I'd use a heat lamp for sure. What I do is I try to start weaning them off the heat lamp at about, I give them about 100 degrees for the first week, 98 to 100 degrees, somewhere right around in there for the first week, and then I reduce it about 5 degrees. So then we're down to like 95 to 90 degrees, and I keep them at that temperature until I start to see, until they're about, you know, completely feathered out for the most part, which is real close to 2 weeks old. At about 2 weeks old, then I start reducing it another 5 or 10 degrees, watch them real close for a day, make sure they're not just all huddled together real tight under the heat lamp. And then I'll go ahead and reduce it again until I get it down to like the 70-degree range, since that's the nighttime lows. And then I just remove the heat lamp, give them another day or two in the brooder box just to be sure they're fine, and then move them out to the hutch. And that's it. So what were you saying, Paula? That's great news. I was thinking Kyle would have to process the older 2 males, so they're the new ones. I didn't catch all of that, but no, I think you're on the right track. Shouldn't have to process them. You should be fine to move your newer birds in with that. Now, what I plan on doing with these is I'll be, once these guys get a little older, in fact, I could do it now, but once these guys get a little older, I'll be processing my older birds, picking out a couple of these to be brooders. I was going to move the new breeders. I was going to go ahead and pick them out and move them into the new hutch, or the old hutch, I should say, but I haven't done the repairs to that old hutch yet, and I need to get that repaired first. So I don't know if I'll do that yet or not. The reason I didn't get any videos done for you guys this weekend is I was really feeling under the weather. Saturday evening, I came down with a fever, about 99 degrees. It was a low-grade fever. It was Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday, the day I'm usually shooting videos for you guys, I just had a fever all day long. It was bouncing around from 99 to 100, just a little over 100. So I was just kind of worn out and exhausted, felt kind of sluggish all day. Today, so far, the fever's been gone. I feel like it may be coming back right now. I'm starting to feel a little sluggish again. But that's it. I just felt kind of achy, kind of sluggish, a little bit of a fever. So who knows, it could be COVID. I'm gonna go get tested tomorrow afternoon just to be sure before I go back to work. I'm working from home right now. But you know, I don't feel all that bad. Even yesterday, I didn't feel all that bad. I just didn't have much energy. So I didn't really get out and shoot videos for you guys. So anyway, hopefully it kind of clears it up with what you can do with your baby quail, moving them in. These, like I said, I've had no problems. I haven't lost a bird one when I move them in and combine them with the older birds. What's there? There's a mobile unit that'll come to you. Well, I'm going to do it at the Walgreens down the road. It's just down the road. It's not that far. So it's pretty convenient, pretty easy. I'm going to take you guys to show you one more cool thing. I think you might appreciate, actually. This is kind of neat. Where's my dog? Max. Hang on, I gotta get the dog back. Max, come. Come on. He's not wanting to listen. Yep, you know which one, huh? You know which one. All right, here he comes. Come on, buddy, let's go. He has a heyday whenever we come out here. He gets to run around and chase things, or look for things to chase anyway, whether he gets to chase anything or not. Don't stop, come on. Leave it, come on. Come on, buddy, come on, come on. There you go, good boy. You guys can't see him, so it looks like I'm just talking to nobody, but he made it back in. All right, so here's one other thing I was gonna show you guys is, we've had a lot of rain and some storms coming lately, and I haven't been able to pull the tarps down over the rabbits. And if you guys see the rabbit hutch over here, you know, I've got these tarps down here that I pull down over the cages whenever there's a storm that's coming through. Now, luckily, they haven't been too bad. It's been okay, but I haven't been able to pull them down because I have got a wren that nested right up inside the tarp there. I'm gonna lift the camera up, see if you guys can see it, but there is a nest right down in there. I don't know if it'll show up on camera or not. Let me see if I can get there. I think you might be able to see it. There's some baby wrens in there. I don't want to disturb them too much. I don't want them to come flying out of there and the dog eat them or something like that. But yeah, I've got these 2 little wrens, Carolina wrens, I believe they are, that are just, what are you saying? Oh, somebody asked, how long do you wait until adding new bloodlines to your quail? Oh, usually once every couple of years, maybe 3 years, something like that. It's not necessarily a set rule, and it's not something you have to worry about too much, but I just do it once every couple of years. I think I'm going on 3 years now since I've added any new bloodlines, but that's kind of the deal. Looking kind of scruffy today. I haven't shaved. I worked from home today, so I kind of skipped that, didn't shave. I just realized I should have probably done that before I got on video with you guys, but you don't care, do you? I'm slightly rednecked. What else do you expect, right? What else? Oh, you're welcome. G. Michael, you're welcome. So hopefully, you know, I don't get worse, don't get sicker. We'll be able to do a live broadcast on Thursday. You know, I don't know. Oh, come get a few from Kyle. A few. Well, hey, you know, we should do some trading, I guess, probably at some point. If you guys need some new bloodlines, let me know. We'll trade you some of these. That's not a bad idea. Really, all you need when you add new bloodlines is just a couple of roosters. That's it. You know, you can keep the same hens and just add a couple of roosters. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could swap out some birds. What else was I going to say? The garden's going pretty well. It's really starting to produce now. We're starting to get ripe tomatoes and all that. I was kind of hoping the little wren would come around for her nest. Both of them have been just all over the place right here. You see them flying around with little bugs in their mouths coming to feed the baby birds. They're great to have around. They go through my garden and pick out all the bugs. You have 2 mature roosters right now. Now I could deal with mature roosters probably. I probably need to get the other hutch finished first or call my existing birds. I can't throw a mature rooster in there with those guys. They'd beat him up. They'd beat the tar out of him. But yeah, we could talk about it. We can figure it out. Now, wait till my COVID test comes back, because if I'm COVID positive, I'm going to have to wait 14 days. But if I'm not, then, you know, I got to be in isolation 14 days if I'm positive for COVID. But if not, which I kind of doubt that it's COVID, because I don't feel all that bad. I don't have any of the other symptoms, but you know, people get mild cases of it. So it could be a mild case. And either way, you know, I trust God. He's going to see me through it for sure. But who's that? Lars coming in here with the super chat. Thank you so much, Lars. 169 Danish crowns, I think, which is probably like 30 bucks or so. That's incredibly generous. You're always so generous. I appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't lost my sense of taste or my sense of smell or anything like that. I'm starting to get a little stuffy, but not bad. Maybe just a slight cough, not much of one. Really can't notice it much. Really just a fever and some body aches. That's about all I've had. But, you know, some people are asymptomatic even. So, like I said, I do feel like the fever's coming back right now. I can kind of feel it in my body. I feel a little bit of a chill, and it's like 90 degrees out or 85 degrees or something like. I think it's 85, and I shouldn't feel chilled out here. But so I think that, you know, I think my fever's probably come back now. The last I tested it, it wasn't. In fact, this morning it was way low. But anyway. Do you ever mix your jumbos with a Celadon quail? Well, I don't have any Celadon quail now. I did at one point, and yeah, I just let them all breed together. But eventually, I think the Celadons was, who's that? 95 degrees where you're at, yeah. Says, brother, don't get COVID tested. Yeah, well, I wouldn't, except for I've got to, you know, go back to work. We've got clients coming in. I can't be the one to go in there and spread that around to everybody. I know I'm not, you know, it's just a test to see if that's what I got or not, just so I know, so I can go back to work and not have to worry about spreading it around. We're having enough issues at work trying to keep people working, trying to hire people, and so many people out with COVID that, you know, I don't want to be the one to spread it around. So I do kind of have to go get tested. I don't necessarily have to, but it's a smart thing to do for me. But anyway, I think I'm going to end it right there, guys. Just a quick live broadcast. Wanted to hang out with you for a few minutes. I do still have some work to do. I'm working from home today, and I'm waiting on a couple things to come through, so I need to go check on those and make sure they get taken care of. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Short, impromptu live broadcast. Hopefully you got some benefit out of it. Who's that? How much do you sell your ready-to-eat quail for? Ivermectin. Yeah, I've heard about ivermectin. My ready-to-eat quail, I don't sell them very all. I saw the comment about the tests or something, but anyway, I won't get into all that. I mean, whether the tests are accurate or not, whether the, you know, vaccine's good or not, I don't really know. I don't have much of an opinion on it either way. I haven't been vaccinated, but you know, anyway, ready to eat quail. I don't sell them very often. When I do, usually $5 to $6, you know, a bird, somewhere right around in there. That's about, I mean, I don't sell them very often, but when I do full-blooded or full-grown quail, sell for about $5. Your secrets to brood the chicks in the quail pen. That comment's gone. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to that. But anyway, okay. I'm going to go ahead and end this one, guys. Go get my stuff taken care of for the day. Thanks for joining me. And as always, God bless. Yeah, I will get well. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Take care.